Hey guys, my name is Beverly. I want to come on here and do a last pregnancy update. This is going to be for everything that happened in my week 40. So, for week 40, my due date was on a Sunday. I remember that, and it was actually on the 23rd. So, on Sunday, the 23rd, all day I kept kind of trying to just be really aware of how I felt. And just like where I was going and things like that, just in case if I was like going to a store, doing anything, like I knew I could get home fast, or I just was really aware of how I felt. So all day, Sunday long, I felt nothing. It was exactly like the last week or so. I didn't have any contractions. I didn't feel any kind of like pain or any more uncomfortable feeling or any changes really. I really just remember feeling exactly the same. So Sunday came and went. That was my due date. So the next day was Monday, of course. Sorry, I'm trying to check the monitor and I thought I heard a noise outside. But, okay, so the next day was Monday, like I said. And we actually had like a family Christmas party. This was from December, by the way. This is a few months ago. I'm way behind, but I still want to do my very last one. So the next day was Monday, and it was the 24th of December, so Christmas Eve. I had a family, like, a Christmas party. It was just like a few minutes down the road, so I knew I wasn't worried if anything happened. I could come right home, or, you know, I was with family, and they could drive me to the hospital, or, you know, whatever was to happen. So I got ready. My husband was at work that day. He has to work holidays and things like that. So I told him, you know, just come whenever you get off work to the family Christmas party, and, you know, we'll be there, so it's no big deal. So I went to the party. It was fun. We just had food, exchanged gifts. My husband came after work and got to see everyone, so that was really nice to actually enjoy that, because I didn't think I would be able to enjoy, like, Christmas at all, because I thought, oh, I'll either be in the hospital or we'll already have the baby and we'll be home, but it'll be like so brand new that I won't want to go anywhere, or probably just won't feel like it, you know? Anyway, so I did all that. That was Christmas Eve. So the next all day, Christmas Eve, of course, I was aware of how I felt. No changes, no contractions, no anything really. The next day was Christmas. And so, like I said, I didn't think I'd be able to do any, checking the monitor, any kind of Christmas get-togethers, because normally we host it at our house here, me and my husband, for my family. And so I didn't plan anything just because my due date was like basically Christmas. So I had literally like the last 24 hours between like Christmas Eve and Christmas, I just invited my parents over, my niece and nephew, and they both have, you know, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, so they came, and then just me and my husband. So it was really small, but it was really nice, because normally we have other people and we don't just have like really close family. So it was nice just to kind of spend time with just us, and I got to enjoy it. And my mom brought just a bunch of food, and so it was just really nice. It was last minute, but it was just really nice. I just remember like it being like a special day. So Christmas came and went, had no contractions, no anything crazy, no changes, no anything. So the next day was the 26th, which was, what would that make, a Wednesday? Yes. So Wednesday, obviously normally I'm off on Wednesdays, just odd, but I am. But obviously I was off because of Christmas and then just waiting to have the baby. So Wednesday, I kind of did my normal routine that I would do like on my off days before. So I went, I think I got groceries that day. I worked out, my gym was open. I think I did like laundry and clean the house, and just kind of kept thinking, okay, get everything ready, check the bags, make sure I have everything packed, just because, I mean, it could be any day now. And so Wednesday came, and I didn't feel, I mean, I felt something, but it was never a I just felt like, you know, it just gets lower and lower and lower. I just kind of felt like a little bit of that Wednesday. I remember when I was grocery shopping, but honestly, nothing, I mean, it wasn't painful. I just kind of felt it just like my body was just lowering down where the baby was. And so went to bed. I'm like, okay, well, my appointment was Thursday, the 27th. I swear I keep hearing things. And so my 40-week appointment was that day. So I knew they were going to check me. And I think they had told me at my 39 weeks or something like that before that if I don't have the baby by my 40-week appointment. I think that at that time they would check me, make sure everything's okay and great and healthy with me and the baby, and they would schedule me for an to be induced. And so I remember thinking, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to be, you know, induced because nothing's really happening here. So anyway, Wednesday, did all the things I normally do. My husband was home at that point. We just had dinner, just thinking like, oh, you know, I'm gonna have to get induced, like nothing's really happening here. And so I went to bed, and I just remember waking up around, I think it was maybe like 1:30, like a little before 2 a.m. in the morning, and I felt like cramping in my stomach, you know? And so I thought, okay, is this like contractions, or, you know, what is this? So I kind of felt them like a stomach cramp. It's like your lower muscles and it just cramps, but then it would go away. And I'm thinking, okay, I think that's a contraction. So I kind of just like laid there in bed awake, feeling it, just to kind of make sure like that's really what it was. And then I just couldn't sleep. And it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't like, oh, like painful, kind of like what I had thought in my mind way a long time ago. Anyway, so I came out and I laid on the couch just because it was like early in the morning. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait to see if they go away, or if they, you know, get closer, or if they get stronger, or they do anything like more intense, and then I can wake my husband up and, you know, we'll just go from there. So I was like, okay, I don't know if this is contractions or like, what do I do? Because sometimes people have contractions like a week before they have a baby. So I still didn't really think like a lot was gonna happen. So I remember at my OB office, they gave me like a really, like just a big pink card with my hospital's like just regular number on it, and then like the OB emergency line. Basically, like if something happens and it's not office hours, I can't call like my OB's office. I can call the hospital where I'm going to deliver, and to call them to ask them a question of the OB like on-call doctor. So I remember walking out to the garage just because it was really late at night. There was no noise in the house or anything, and I didn't want to wake him up in case, you know, you rolled over or something and it was like nothing. And I was like, okay, you know, I don't want to wake him up. So I went out to the garage thinking I could be quiet. And I called the OB doctor and I kind of told him like, hey, like for the last little bit, I've been feeling like tightness, like, you know, cramping, like a contraction. They're like, okay, well, how far are they apart? And I think I said like 5 to 7 minutes. I think, but I said, I haven't really been checking them that long. But I said, I kind of woke me up from when I was sleeping. They said, okay, well, watch it for the next hour or two and see if they get closer within, I think he said less than 5 minutes apart for at least 2 hours. I think, don't quote me, but I think. And they go, okay, if that happens, then you can come on in. We can check you to see if you're further dilated or anything happened, or if your water breaks, or anything else that you are, you know, worried about, just go ahead and come on in. I'm like, okay. So I get off the phone, and literally as soon as I got off the phone, like I literally said goodbye and like hit the end button, my water broke in the garage. So, and it really wasn't like hardly anything. I just remember like in my mind, I'm thinking it was gonna be like a lot of water, but it was like barely anything. And like, I didn't even really feel it. I mean, it just kind of feels like you're going to the bathroom, like you're peeing basically, but you don't know that you're doing it. It literally just happens, but it lasted for like, I mean, I think I was trying to walk inside or go to the bathroom or something because I thought it would be like a lot. But I mean, I think by the time I got inside, it literally had stopped. I took like a few steps and that was it, you know? But it was like down my leg and I had like pajamas and stuff on. So I remember I walked in the house and my husband, I guess, had got up just to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night like he normally does. And I was like, hey, I think we need to go to the hospital. And he was just kind of sleepy. He's like, okay, you know, why? What happened? I was like, I think my water just broke. He's like, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I said, I just called the OB doctor. They said if anything happens, you know, with the contractions and all that, to come on in. But I said, my water broke. So I said, I think we need to go. So I told him I was going to take a shower just because I wanted to kind of just feel clean right before I left in case we were there for a long time and I couldn't come back home or, you know, whatever happened. I just felt better about having like a quick shower. So I did that, and he was just kind of getting the bags together, and I got my bags together. And that whole time from when I started having contractions, like 1, 2, from talking to the OB doctor to my water breaking and then like taking a shower, like I was still having this contraction. It just felt like a really tightening feeling in like your lower stomach, kind of like PMS, like cramping. And then it would just kind of like literally just go away completely. And then like a few minutes later, I kind of tried to watch it, and I want to say it was like 3 to 5 minutes, you know, and I was trying to watch it on the way to the hospital because it'd take us maybe like 20 minutes to get there. Anyway, so we got there. By the time we got there and they checked us in, I think it was like 3:30 or something, because I watched the contractions for a while before I called the OB. And then I took a shower. We like, you know, got our bags together. Of course, they were packed. So anyways, we got to the doctor and they took us to the triage, I believe is what it's called. And they checked me to see if I'm either further dilated. And I want to say they told me I was dilated to a 3, which at my last doctor's appointment at 38 and 39, I was at a 2 both weeks. I'm like, okay, well, you know, at least I'm progressing. Said, okay, we're going to move you up to like the room where you deliver, basically. They did all kinds of tests and hooked me up and this and that. Like, I don't even remember. It was just a bunch of like stuff, like normal stuff that you go into the hospital with. And by then it was like, you know, 4:35, 6, I don't know. It was still like, it was dark outside. It was still in the middle of the night. And so my husband was like, do you want to call our parents? I said, no. I was like, just wait, because it's still like so early and you can't really do anything. You're just literally waiting. Like, I did not understand that you wait for so long just because you're waiting to get further dilated. And that just could take hours and hours and hours. So anyways, we got in there. They gave me like Pitocin just because nothing was happening after 2 or 3 hours. Helped dilate me. And they said, okay, we're going to come back and check it in like an hour or so. And when they did come back and check it, I want to say I was dilated to a 4. So I progressed a little bit. They said, okay, we'll wait and see if it like progresses more. They said, I think, you should dilate 1 more each hour, I think is what he was wanting to see at the time, the OB. And so they checked it back again another hour, and I want to say it was still at a 4. I mean, nothing happened past 4. That's all I remember. And so hours went by, and I was still having contractions. They kind of gave me some like something to breathe into to kind of help it, but honestly, it really didn't do anything. And they had me hooked up to like the machine and all that to like check my heart rate and the baby's blood pressure, or not, yes, my heart rate and like the heart rate of the baby and things like that, because I guess Pitocin can affect it a little bit. I just remember like there was cords and just stuff. I've never been to the hospital or had surgery or anything, so that was just like a lot to take in. And so I think it was like 7 or 7:30. I said, okay, that's fine. We can call our parents. It's at a reasonable time. We can kind of tell them where we're at and what's going on. So I think my husband called my mom first. His parents live together. They're married. So he called them. And then I think we called my dad too. And so we kind of told him the situation, like, you know, nothing's happening and we're here, but we're just letting you know that we are at the hospital. And so another hour or 2 went by and things like that, and it just, nothing was really changing, basically. And so the OB doctor came in and said, okay, you know, you can keep doing this for like 24 hours, being in labor, obviously, and feeling the contractions and everything, or we can go ahead and just do a C-section and you can have a baby in an hour. And I was like, okay. I was like, do I really have a choice? Or like, what do I, you know what I mean? I was just kind of like, wasn't expecting that. And so they're like, well, we need to do the C-section soon. And so literally I'm like, okay, well, how soon? Like an hour or 2? Like I kind of was like, didn't think it was like going to happen like right then, basically, you know, like, okay, in like 15, 20 minutes, we'll come and get you and your husband can put on the scrubs and we'll take you back. And I'm like, whoa, I was like, I need more time. I was just like really, I guess I was not prepared for that. I just really did not think I was going to have a C-section just because no one had ever told me that that was even an option when I was pregnant. The baby wasn't breached, like nothing was wrong with me or the baby. And I just thought, you know, I wouldn't need that. So anyways, 15, 20 minutes, literally they came and got you. Like my husband put on the scrubs and like they just wheel you out. Like it happened like super, super fast. And so by then it was like in the afternoon time. I mean, hours and hours had went by. So we had our baby boy by a C-section and he was born in like 3:15 in the afternoon. And he was 8 pounds, 5 ounces, and he was 19 inches and 3/4, so almost 20 inches. And he was born on a Thursday because it was the next day, the 27th of December. So we had him and he's perfectly healthy and everything was healthy with me. We stayed in the hospital for 2 days and obviously we all came home and everything's been great since. So I just want to conclude this update by saying thank you for whoever was watching and watched this whole thing. And I hope this helps someone and I will see you guys later. Bye.